'cause everything is never as it seems.
What's up, every Brawl Stars gamers? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Inside of today's video, we are going to look at the December 2020 balance changes that I know of. But yeah, I know it's not all of the balance changes, but one of my friends showed me this on DMs, so I like to share them off to you guys, and let's get right on to the balance changes, starting with the buffs. Alright guys, so first off, here's the first brawl that is gonna get a buff, and that is Frank. So Frank isn't really that great in the meta because currently he struggles because of anti-tank meta. So since Frank seems not really that good, the only way you can really buff Frank is by buffing his health. So yeah, buffing it to 9,800 will surely help him some, but not completely, because it's still anti-tank meta in the moment, and Colette is just gonna dish more damage to Frank at max HP. So definitely, I don't know if it's actually a good buff, but let's just say it's gonna be a good one after all. Alright guys, so the next one on the buffs list is Gale, and it's also to his health. But somehow I'm not so sure if this is actually a worthy buff. It sounds a little dumb if you ask me, but yeah, at least this health buff can do at least a little to help him get better on the meta, because Gale is pretty decent and balanced at the moment, but he's not actually that good, because after this recent jump pad nerf, he started to fall somewhat downhill. So I guess this health buff can give him a little more love in the game. Alright guys, the next brawler that is going to have a buff is Jessie. So Jessie has not been a good brawler in the meta for a very long time, mainly because her reload speed and damage is not that high. So Jessie is still pretty good in Heist and Siege, and Brawl Ball, to be honest, with the second gadget if you're playing Brawl Ball, playing Heist and Siege, and also the first gadget if you want to play Brawl Ball. So and any other ways, Jessie is not really that good, because many people can actually hit her turret very, very easily. It's not like 2 years ago where Jessie literally dominates most game modes. It's since many other brawlers came into the meta pretty quickly and they're actually much stronger, Jessie overall is gonna suck in the meta. So here on to the next buff. Alright guys, so the next brawler that is going to get buffs is Nita. So Nita currently isn't very good in the meta right now because of the gadget was completely dead, because now there's this 1 second delay, but recently sometime they actually buffed it so that the bear can move while the gadget is activated. Still, I don't really think this is enough, even though you still get some value in games like Brawl Ball and Heist, and which means Heist you use the first gadget and Hyper Bear, while in Brawl Ball you use bear with me and the second gadget. So we really want Nita to get more love in the meta, so the buffs for her will be a damage buff to 1232, and her bear with me star power would go from 500 to 800. That will be a huge buff to bear with me, because hyper bear is good after all, but like bear with me is not normally used for like a very long time now, and this star power definitely needs more love. So yeah, Nita definitely needs these two buffs so that she can be more viable in the meta again. Alright guys, on to the next brawler, and this is Mr. P. So Mr. P hasn't, after Mr. P's nerfs to his porters, I say, Mr. P really isn't that great in the meta. He's most likely bounced, but like some of the other meta brawlers pretty much can counter him, like Brock and something like that. But anyways, Mr. P would be getting a damage buff from 980 to 1064. This means that Mr. P can now 3-shot tick no matter what. Also it'll make up for like the damage that the health nerf to the porters. So like I feel like this health buff is gonna be pretty solid, because now Mr. P will be more viable in the meta, and plus he's still good in games like Brawl Ball and whatever. And also the next brawler that will also get a health buff will be Rico, but I'm a little curious because that wouldn't do much good, because it's just a small health buff. For like, yeah, I say Rico is already solid in games like Brawl Ball, Heist, Gem Grab, like in a lane, or like a lane is best. And he's also good in maps with like lots of walls, because especially with the first star power, he'll be good because the extra damage and all that. But Rico is a very fun brawler, but isn't really that great in the meta. So a health buff from 3,640 to 3,920 will be very appreciated and will be very good. Even though he'll still be 3-shotted by Sprout, I discovered that this health buff would help him on at least something. This means he will have the same health as Colt, Surge, and Dynamite. As we see, Rico is pretty decent in the meta for a pretty long time now. So yeah, here we move on to the next brawler. Alright, so this is the brawler that definitely needs a nerf, because this brawler is completely overpowered. So Brock is pretty much a very good brawler in the meta still for pretty long time now, because ever since that second gadget, Brock just completely destroys. He's literally good almost everywhere, especially in Brawl Ball, Siege, Heist, Bounty, and yeah, basically almost all the modes, because of how much value you can get with the gadgets. So like, I heard that the main issue with Brock is damage, because Brock's damage has not been changed for a very long time. It has been 1,540 for like superiorly long time, especially ever since the time I started playing Brawl Stars at all. But like, yeah, Brock is such a beast. The nerfs that will happen to him will be a damage nerf from 1540 to 14,056. This will mean that his normal attacks will have the same damage as his super. So that is definitely a good change. At least it's better than nothing, but still. We also have a health nerf to Brock because I still think Brock is a little too strong with like 3,640 HP. So a nerf to 3,360 will be pretty accurate because like now since Brock has another health nerf, now Brock cannot be aggressive anymore. So like, yeah, he'll have the same health as Piper, Spike, Crow, and B. So definitely this change will help Brock get a little more bounce, and not too OP. So there we go, and let's move on to the next game. Alright guys, so no surprises here, but like I didn't see this buff from Reddit, but my friend actually showed this to me. This is the only one that wasn't in Reddit, and that is Colt's buff. So he thinks that Colt is gonna get a buff on damage from 448 to 504. This means Colt will get a better damage buff because Colt, it's been a while. It's been a very big while ever since Colt even has been a good asset in the meta. So like maybe a damage buff will be worth it because now you can deal more damage in heist than normal. And also the silver bullet gadget will have even more stronger damage than normal. But like I'm still not sure if Colt even deserves this buff because his silver gadget is already so good. And it helped him get back in the meta again after for so long. Remember, I heard most of you might as well remember the fact that Colt was a bottom 5 brawler when at the time. And I think most of you can remember this. And Colt was definitely not good until he received this gadget. But like Colt also needs a little more love, so this buff may be able to also help Colt destroy boxes in like 2 hits. So like definitely pretty solid buff. This is gonna be alright guys, so this is gonna be the end of today's video. Let me know if these bounce changes are useful or not, and like and subscribe for more great content made for me. I'll see you guys in next vid, and